pretty fast-hitting game. Now, Christian does have to set up that Baxcalibur to be able to get those energies raining down and just take those big one-hit knockouts. But once that happens, it's pretty inevitable. Meanwhile, Kamal is going to have to put in a ton of work just getting those early Dark Patches, Professor Sada's Vitalities, and that Galarian Moltres V to really get things going, get those energies in play and start attacking.
All right, so I guess the name of the game is whoever hits first into an EX is going to be in a pretty good position, as Christian Moreno right now starting us off. Does Silvery Chill, gets 2 energies into their hand, and Pokestop discards 3.
You love to see it.
Draws 3, excuse me. That's why we spin that Pokestop. But what do we have, though? No, there it is. Okay.
I was very worried for a second. Having that Frigibax in play is needed just so you can evolve in that Baxcalibur on the next turn.
There we go. And Christian Moreno, he goes ahead and attaches energy to that Frigibax. It's a little bit safer on the bench, that for sure, as we do. Looks like they're going to get even more energy in hand. I lost count of how many water energies Christian has in his hand, but I think I'd feel a little bit safer with a second Frigibax, if just in case Kamal plays something like an Escape Rope.
Which there's one of copy in the list. There's 2 Boss's Orders as well, but with this early game for Kamal, he's going to be focused more on that Professor's Research, Professor Sada's Vitality, and we could see some fireworks in this hand. There is that Escape Rope already, and having access to Earthen Vessel plus Radiant Greninja allows a couple energies to go in the discard. There's a Professor Sada's in hand already to go along with a Roaring Moon. We could see fireworks as soon as this turn 1.
This could get scary. Yes, Roaring Moon getting an attack off right away. Even maybe something like the Morpeko, even getting an attack off against the Frigibax. Again, this Escape Rope is the world here for Kamal, but let's see how they play it out. Again, 2 energies now with the Earthen Vessel. They believe, have they used the Radiant Greninja yet?
He is not, it's just the Earthen Vessel discard with the Dark, but having these 2 Dark energies brought to the hand means he can concealed cards pretty freely, and we're actually going to use the Pokestop here. Not as good, but Energy Switch is probably one of the best cards you can find right now to try to get this attack off.
I think hitting 1 good card out of Pokestop is already worth it in itself, as we do see the concealed cards coming off. The Radiant Greninja draws 2. Let's see what they get. The only thing that makes this something that can make this hand is something like a Battle VIP pass, potentially.
I think that was another Energy Switch off the top, just a different art. And so 2 Energy Switch in hand. I think there's an Ultra Ball somewhere digging down in there, but Trekking Shoes.
We're running here.
I would hope so. You got shoes on.
Do we find what we want? No, it's another Energy Switch.
Energy Switch. Emergency Jelly is not really going to do it right here, but there is at least 1 Roaring Moon in the hand along with the Sada.
Yeah, so... Oh, there's an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball
I said that.
Oh, Ultra Ball can find them the Galarian Moltres. There is a guaranteed attack this turn, then. In my mind, I was thinking maybe he has to find something like a Dark Patch, potentially, but with the Ultra Ball can find themselves maybe something like the Galarian Moltres V to be able to Dire Flame Wings and extra energy, or maybe even Squawk to just draw even more. But yeah, there it is. Galarian Moltres V being pushed to the top.
Could also debate about the second Roaring Moon if he doesn't have it in hand, just to maximize that vitality, but Galarian Moltres V does that, but again, on the next turn, and the next turn, and the next turn, so.
And can hold a 4 Seal Stone.
Yeah, that is also very important.
As we do see Professor Sada here going to go ahead and attach an energy from the discard pile, draw 3, but we know for a fact Kamal has it in hand, has pretty much everything they need at this point, does find the Ultra Ball as well, another Roaring Moon and an energy. At this point, we're trying to set up the board for future turns.
Yeah, this has been great sequencing from Kamal here. Just basically getting everything down and that he needs for this turn 1 attack off. And then just starting the 1 of Escape Rope is insane in this position here.
As, again, Energy Switch is played there, moving the energy from the Galarian Moltres V into the Roaring Moon. And there it is, the 1 of Escape Rope. That is good specifically in this situation where your opponent only has 1 Frigibax in play. That was basically a Pokemon catcher, a gust effect, while also using a supporter, as we do see another Ultra Ball being played, grabbing the Squawk ability, be able to use Squawk and Skis, maybe draw another hand.
Oh yeah, we're not done here, Juancho. This turn is going to continue with this Squawk ability EX. Squawk and Seize is just going to discard a Boss's Orders. I'll take that trade-off. Discard that 1 card for 6 brand new cards.
Let's see what they get here. Again, pretty much they have everything they need for this turn, but it's also about setting up the future turns. Looks like they do have the Battle VIP pass.
Yeah, cherry on top of the Sunday that is this turn.
It's basically a nest ball. They already have 4 Pokemon in play, but
It all could be for naught because honestly, Christian might just scoop the following turn if he doesn't have access to any more Frigibacks.
that is
This
true.
Qianpao is already being threatened of a KO the following turn with even just a Calamity Storm, discarding that Pokestop if he doesn't discard it this turn.
That's for sure. And then Kamal does have the knockout here on both the Frigibacks and following turn the
Sealstone.
Qianpao. Ooh, for Sealstone as well on the Galarian Moltres V, but opts to take out the Pokestop this turn.
Well, again, it's just denying your opponent resources. And both of these players are playing heavy counts of Pokestop in the deck. Christian playing 4, Kamal playing 3. So both of them can use that powerful stadium to get set up here. But Christian is definitely on the back foot, and I think that's just the result of going first. You don't have access to that card he just drew in Irida.
Yes, again, here we go. Very powerful card. Irida able to find themselves an item and a water Pokemon. Could possibly get a Frigibax as this nest ball being played. I'd like to set up 2 at this point after we did get 1 knocked out, and now Kamal should be free to use Boss's Orders this next turn as, again, there we go. We do see that Irida played. Looks like going to grab a nest ball as well, so could potentially you grab 2 Pokemon here.
Yeah, Irida is such a powerful supporter in this water deck for Christian, being able to fetch a water Pokemon and then an item go along with it. Usually on your turn 1 going second, you're finding that Battle VIP pass, you're finding your Frigibax to get set up, your Radiant Greninja with the Earthen Vessel so you can start drawing. It has a lot of uses.
Definitely, especially in a deck that is full of water Pokemon. But looks like the choice here is going to be the Baxcalibur plus the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Again, Hisuian Heavy Ball going to go ahead and take a peek at those prizes, find themselves a basic Pokemon. Let's see what he decides to grab. Looks like another Frigibax. There we go. This is the board you want to have. But on the first turn of the game, and Kamal should be really just taking a knockout here on the Qianpao. Going down to 3 prizes against Qianpao. Definitely feels good here. But I'm sure Christian Moreno should have a couple of tricks up his sleeve as well. Just like maybe attacking with a Radiant Greninja. There's not that many prime targets, as we do see a pass here. Back to Kamal.
Yeah, if Kamal has the stadium this turn, that's an easy knockout on this Qianpao EX. But if he doesn't, a Frenzied Gouging is just as good. And we do see there is a Pokestop hiding out in that hand.
That is great. That means Calamity Storm should be just enough. You don't want to leave your Pokemon with just 30 HP, especially when your opponent is threatening KOs with single prize Pokemon. You want to force those Qianpaos to the active. As Earthen Vessel being played, just getting more energies. Again, both these decks seem very similar in the engines they try to use. Well, the items they try to use in any case. As, again, Dark Patch being played. That was the attach for turn plus the Dark Patch. Now a second Roaring Moon is looming in the bench.
And with this, he basically has 3 attackers powered up and is just ready to answer whatever Christian is able to do. And to top it all off, an Iono to put that Baxcalibur on the bottom of the deck is pretty good.
Very heads-up play there from Kamal. Even though, again, it's 6 cards, that is still a form of disruption since they do know that the Baxcalibur is in the hand. Again, now it's just even more setup. Pokestop here, grabbing the Battle VIP pass, discarding a couple of cards there. You'd like to see the research in hand potentially, but thinning is winning, so might as well spin that wheel. As we see here, let's see what resources they're still counting. Maybe they still have an energy in the discard pile they're thinking about using a Dark Patch for. But
there's the knockout here, and honestly, with the way Christian has built this Qianpao deck, it is just very good at doing one thing, and that's getting the Baxcalibur in play and then just chaining Qianpao EXs, chaining that Radiant Greninja attack. There's no Iron Hands EX with a Lightning Energy tucked away that we've been seeing ever since the Paradox Rift set came out, and is really just relying on pure consistency, but is seeing himself down 3 prizes to 6 here, and it's all thanks to just that turn one of not being able to get a second Frigibax in play, or a second Pokemon in play would have been even enough.
Absolutely anything to give up to that escape rope, as we do see just a scoop here from Christian. And just like that, Kamal wins game one. One more win brings him closer to day 2. But again, if Christian has anything to say about it, I'm sure Chien-Pao has a couple of tricks up his sleeve, and we're just gonna have to see. What do you think Christian has to do to adjust in this matchup?
He has to consult with Frank Pao and be able to figure out how to get a Baxcalibur in play. But this turn 1 from Kamal was just amazing. 3 energy, escape rope, take the knockout on the lone Frigibax, and leaving Christian with just another turn of trying to set up the Iono Disruption, and then Calamity Storm taking the knockout on that Chien-Pao EX. The disparity in prizes was just too much for Christian to handle here. And just like that, it was a pretty quick game 1.
That's for sure. Something I'd like to see from Christian is really utilize something like that Spiritomb. Maybe shut off the Galarian Moltres V, and without Dire Flame Wings, that's one less energy you have to work with. Not only that, you have a single prizer on the bench. An ideal start when you're playing against Roaring Moon, in my opinion, is having 2 single prize Pokemon, one in the active, one in the bench, just to protect you. You want to force your opponent to go into that odd prize while you're taking 2 prizes per turn. And right now, Christian Moreno does have the Frigibax in the active. The only question is, can we get a second one?
Well, having the Hisuian Heavy Ball to start in hand is pretty good, because Christian prized 2 Chien-Pao EX. He only plays 3. So that is your main attacker to be able to take a one-hit knockout on these Pokemon EX on Kamal's side of the board. So having access to that also means you can Shivery Chill, grab a couple energies, hopefully work in a Radiant Greninja this turn. You see an Ultra Ball in hand already.
2 Ultra Balls, I believe. So if they wanted, they could thin their hand down to almost nothing. They do have a Bibarel. Looks like it's going to be an attachment there onto the Frigibax to retreat to the Chien-Pao. And that's another way to get more cards in the hand to be able to discard for Ultra Ball.
Yeah, I think with these 2 extra water energies, Christian is going to be able to use both the Ultra Balls as long as he doesn't mind discarding basically everything in hand except for the B-Barrel. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a little awkward now because you have that Baxcalibur and the B-Barrel in hand. If Christian's... Okay.
Well, that's another way to get more cards.
That is another way to get more cards. All right, so Ultra Ball, Radiant Greninja, concealed cards, get a couple more cards. Ultra Ball, grab that Frigibax or B-Barrel or Bidoof, depending on what you're wanting. Nest Balls and Battle VIP Pass. Okay, we're cooking here.
We were talking about losing resources, and with just a single concealed cards, just like that, Christian Moreno's bench is looking very, very healthy. Again, with double Frigibax, the Bidoof, and the Radiant Greninja. However, again, I have to emphasize Chien-Pao in the active has 2 prizes.
Yeah, that's 2 prizes, and Kamal has exactly what he wants in going second. Like, even though both of these decks are very similar, they take big knockouts one after another, Christian always kind of wants to go first because you can get that Baxcalibur in play, but you also kind of want to go second so you have access to Irida right away. You really run that fine line of what am I going to pick depending on the matchup.
It's definitely a tough choice, while Kamal, his choice is very easy. I want to go second.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to just take a knockout.
I want to take knockouts and take more knockouts and take more knockouts.
Very straightforward. As again, I'd love to see the Spiritomb in play, but second Bidoof also good if you want to just turbo out our hand here. And Kamal gonna start us off with an Ultra Ball. If there's an Ultra Ball, there's a way, as long as Squawk isn't prized. And there we go. There we go. We do see the Squawkabilly EX. That means we're gonna see a fresh hand at the very least. Let's see if there's anything else Kamal can play here. Would love to see maybe something like a Nest Ball, maybe more energies.
Well, with the way Kamal is shuffling the deck, I don't know if there's going to be any more search going on with this hand. And I think that shows kind of the weakness of it, but there is a couple Pokemon in this hand. And, ooh, Professor Sada's Vitality to go along with it. Full power.
Not too bad. That means they are an energy attachment plus an energy switch away. Draws 3 cards here. Let's see what they get. And does find the energy switch and an energy attachment.
Yeah,
is there a
so
stadium?
With that is a pretty easy knockout with Frenzy Gouging. Looking for that Calamity Storm knockout, though. So hoping to find that Pokestop, like you were saying, off this Squawk and Seize.
Goes for the Squawk and Seize. Going to draw 6 cards here, 6 big ones. Again, if they can find the Pokestop, that's a very easy knockout. Does find
4 Seal Stone.
4 Seal Stone, not too bad. That's pretty much anything you want in the deck.
Pretty much, I think it is. I think it literally says search your card, or search your deck for any card.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. And as long as, of course, you have the Galarian Moltres V
Yes.
on the bench. And they looks like they are just going to go for it here.
Yeah.
Star Alchemy, again, half a star birth. Why not? You think they go for the stadium?
Yep, and we're going to get this Town Store, get the most use out of it, maybe find that Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, get a little bit more HP, meaning Chen Pao needs another energy to be able to take a knockout.
You know, just when you think it doesn't get any tougher, suddenly this Roaring Moon has 290 HP.
That's a lot of HP.
It's a powerhouse for sure. And again, come on. He has everything he wants on the board right now. But we got to set up for future state. And use a great way.
This hand's great. Earthen Vessel, discard that 4 Seal Stone you don't need. Get a couple of energies. I think there's a Dark Patch in hand as well. And then
Things are looking good. There's
Professor's
a lot,
Research for next turn.
a lot of 2 prizes on Kamal's side of the field. And yeah, I'd feel very, very comfortable, especially with that Mew, as Christian Moreno promotes the Radiant Greninja, does have a Bibarel and the Baxcalibur and the Irida. That's actually a really good hand here from Christian. It's just how does he respond to the Roaring Moon? Does need a Chien-Pao.
Chen-Pao plus 5 energies, 1 to retreat as well. So that's a lot of cards to ask for.
And that's only a response to tie things up. You're hoping that Kamal doesn't get another Roaring Moon set up potentially, but we'll have to see. Again, Irida, very powerful card. We've talked about it earlier, able to find any water Pokemon. What do we opt to find here? Potentially, again, the Chien-Pao, maybe the Baxcalibur if we're still missing it. He's opting for the Rare Candy and the Chien-Pao EX. Again, Chien-Pao, at least that's free 2 energies in a Pokemon. All right, so
If it's in the active, that's the
We'll
one
get
part
there.
right now.
I'm
Are we?
sure
Is,
we'll
there,
get
is
there.
there any energy in Christian's hand? I don't think so.
okay, not quite yet. But oh, and he's already used the Bibarel.
Yeah, already used the Bibarel.
That means he does have another Ultra Ball to find a second Bibarel to draw even more, but opting to find the Frigibax. Oh,
Just a discard with this Ultra Ball, grab the second one. Hopefully find, what? Superior Energy Retrieval,
Chien-Pao.
energy.
It needs quite a bit. It's
Oh,
needed
needing
quite a bit, while all Kamal needs is 3 energy. And my deck, hey, guess what? It's built to attach energy.
Well, I mean, so is Christian's, but just different ways.
That's for Joe. Does have the Rare Candy Baxcalibur and the second Bibarel. 1 card in hand. That means 4 fresh cards going to be drawn here.
Well, we got one energy.
Conceal cards.
Uh-oh.
Dream is still
And
alive.
With this line of play, you still need the Chien-Pao as well. So this Superior Energy Retrieval, I guess this allows you to Moonlight Shuriken this turn. You're not going to present a 2-prize Pokemon in the active spot, but it's still rough because look at the board. There's no knockout lined up for this Moonlight Shuriken. You can deal 90 to Squawkabilly EX and the Mew, and then hopefully Moonlight Shuriken again, and then there's 4 prizes. But other than that, it's going to be a tough go.
That might be the path Christian has to go here. Again, targeting both the Mew EX and the Squawkabilly EX. Technically, that's 4 prizes. If the prize trade could work out here, as long as Christian does not bench another 2-prizer and is able to get that Greninja back into play.
Yeah, he does play 2 Super Odd in the list, so that is a card you could search out with something like Irida. Although you would want to play the Super Odd first and then Irida out the Radiant Greninja. There's a lot of sequencing that you're going to need to try to figure out with this line of play.
Again, that's why Frank Pao said sequencing is key. You got to practice that. As Kamal goes over the board again, does have The Professor's Research has an attachment for turn, but at this point, the Roaring Moon in the active still is sitting pretty healthy. With, I believe they have nothing to really discard the bench, something like a collapsed stadium, maybe Turo, but he doesn't play anything like that. Just goes for the Professor's Research here, draws 7 fresh cards, maybe a switch card to heal the Mew EX potentially.
Yeah, just one of in the list. We do see it in hand along with Escape Rope. So Escape Rope, bring up the Mew, switch card it back to the Roaring Moon, but then you're only taking 1 prize anyway, so it might be worth it here.
I think I'd go for it here, just because it does prevent a 4 prize turn. They could be big. Let's see if Kamal decides to do it. They have a lot of cards still to be played in the hand. Well, specifically the Earthen Vessel. Maybe try to get more energies into the hand. Kamal here still deciding what to play.
Yeah, he's really missing that Radiant Greninja in the prize cards right now. Having access to concealed cards just to get those energies in the discard to turn on your Dark Patch, turn on your Galarian Moltres V. But we're just going to see the knockout here. And granted, getting rid of the Radiant Greninja is going to be very good, but you're going to have to Frenzied Gouging, and that's not what you want to do for 1 prize card.
You were trying to deny the 4 prize turn, and just like that, there's another Pokemon with the potential to get knocked out, as we do see the Super Rod played right away there, getting energy cards and the Radiant Greninja. Question is, does Christian have a way to grab it from the deck?
I think there's
2 Bibarels.
There's an Irida in hand as well. So
okay,
this is perfect for Christian. Such a great response after that first Moonlight Shuriken, and then with the Superior Energy Retrieval in hand, already has access to the Retreat and the Moonlight Shuriken yet again. But this time, you can take out the active with all the energies and the Mew EX, so now there's not a good pivot for Kamal.
Definitely, and that also threatens... You're taking down 2 EX Pokemon, and you can Radiant Greninja again to take out the last one potentially, or again go with the Chien-Pao, which we don't see just yet. But wow, what a comeback here from Christian. I thought after Kamal's absolutely explosive turn 1, getting the knockout on a Chien-Pao, it might be a little bit tough to come back, but Christian found the line, and it begins with Radiant Greninja.
Now he plays the Canceling Clone just to thin out the hand a little bit. Maybe would have liked to see a Retreat and then Superior Energy Retrieval that away. Play all 4 energies, then just draw the 5 cards with Industrious Incisors.
That is true. May as well just use everything in your hand, get the attachments that you already know you're going to attach anyway. But still have a good, healthy hand here. Looks like it's going to be another Earthen Vessel for 2 more cards. 2 more energy cards, excuse me. And we do have the Chien-Pao in hand for the next turn. I think now Christian may be setting up for the future.
Yeah, he's in a pretty good position here, and I think that's just due to the fact that the way these decks are built, Kamal and his Roaring Moon is going to be attacking with 2 prizers every time. There's no 1 prizer in the deck except for the Morpeko that you can attack with, and that's not really going to do too much, especially in this state. Meanwhile, Christian, we've seen after starting that Chien-Pao, willing not to bench down another Chien-Pao EX, meaning Kamal's going to have to go through a lot more Pokemon and use a lot more attacks, and we saw him do just that, Frenzy Gouging that Radiant Greninja just for it to get Super Rotted back into the deck, and now take 4 prizes.
4 meaningful prizes as well by taking down the main attacker with all that damage. That's why I was wondering if it was worth getting rid of the stadium earlier, but yeah, we're just going to see the Moonlight Shuriken here take out both the Mew EX. I like the knockout there. And, oh no, looks like they're going to knock out the Squawk ability and the Mew EX, keeping the Roaring Moon in the active, maybe baiting, hey, just attack with it one more time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there is 200 damage on it, so 90 would clear it. But again, maybe just trying to get those easy prize cards that are already there. If Kamal doesn't have another stadium, he's going to be forced to use a separate Frenzied Gouging to take the knockout. Like, granted, right now he doesn't have the knockout on Radiant Greninja.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. Maybe they could attack with something like the Galarian Moltres at the very least, especially after the Earthen Vessel there. But I'm sure he would love to attack with another Roaring Moon. I think they only play one of the Ancient Booster. Oh, no, they do play two. So maybe we can make the second Roaring Moon a lot bigger as well. Try and prevent an easy knockout with a Chien-Pao. But again, with double Bibarel in play, not even Iono doesn't disrupt you here.
This is the exact setup that Chien-Pao EX deck wants to get. Just having access to both of those Industrious Incisors means your hand's never really just doing nothing. You're always going to be able to do something. Superior Energy Retrieval is the lifeline of the deck, and being able to have that Baxcalibur, but also have a backup Frigibax on the bench for Rare Candy Baxcalibur, just in case Kamal decides to switch gears.
Definitely. I think, when I'm thinking about it, the only weakness really in Christian's board is his lone Baxcalibur, but then again, there's another Frigibax. I was thinking if there was a way to maybe gust up the Baxcalibur in combination with some disruption, because again, sometimes those stage 2s are a little bit harder, especially when you have to pair it with something like Rare Candy. As we do see the switch card being played now, retreating the Roaring Moon, going into the Galarian Moltres V. More importantly, as well, healing that Roaring Moon up to, I believe, 170 damage. So it is safe from Moonlight Shuriken, as I think we're just going to see an Aura Burn here onto that Radiant Greninja.
Yeah, if we do, though, it's pretty much game over as long as Christian finds a Chien-Pao. And with a hand like that, should be able to do just that.
Yeah, I believe I do see the Chien-Pao in hand. Or, yeah, I do see the Chien-Pao in hand. There's a Superior Energy Retrieval as well. This should be all she wrote here. Unless, of course, there's not enough energy for some reason. There's enough energy in the hand. There's enough energy in the discard pile. There's everything you could possibly want in this hand. But maybe there's still something Kamal can do. He does decide to bench the Morpeko. If maybe a Gust Up, knockout, because he is in the odd prize. Gust Up, knockout a Frigibax with the Morpeko could be ideal.
Yeah, and Christian's just showing the Chien-Pao EX Superior Energy Retrieval Water, and that is going to force a Game 3 here. Chien-Pao up against Roaring Moon.
I thought this matchup was cookie cutter clear that it was just Roaring Moon's favor, but you know what? It's Christian proved me wrong. Well, it is not just Blue Miraidon. There are tricks up your sleeve. Miraidon can't back-to-back attack with Radiant Greninja.
I mean, when we were saying it earlier, how Radiant Greninja is probably one of the best Pokemon that we have in the format. You saw the power of him there, being able to just Moonlight Shuriken for 4 prizes in 2 consecutive turns, and able to just draw you the cards you need. Find that Battle VIP pass. That was very big on that turn 1. And just having access to that with the Super Rod, the Irida, it was very good position for Christian, and even forced Kamal to Frenzied Gouging the Radiant Greninja just for Christian to find it back. And Moonlight Shuriken taking 4 prizes is just how you want to draw things up if you're Frank Pao.
That's for sure. And I think nothing really showcases the power of Radiant Greninja more than a water-focused deck. You know, you have the Iridas and the Baxcaliburs to really facilitate it. And maybe we should rename this deck to Radiant Greninja deck, to be honest. But again,
probably not.
Chien-Pao's still pretty important.
If you just made any deck with Radiant Greninja named Radiant Greninja, I think 90% of the field is going to be
I'd
like
love
Radiant
to see our graph for that.
Now remember, both of these players are 5-0-1. That means this is a win in 2 day 2. Whoever comes out on top of this match is going to have 19 match points, and that is enough to punch their ticket into Sunday.
And looking at both players' prizes now, Christian Moreno, he really likes prizing those Chien-Paos.
Yeah.
And luckily there is the Hisuian Heavy Ball.
How do you start the Hisuian Heavy Ball yet again? No. Just one in the list. I think he also, he started the Frigibax last game. So still able to have a pretty stellar setup here. You can retreat the Radiant Greninja into the Chien-Pao, Sheer Cold, or Shivery Chill, get a couple more energies if you want, but then again, you put that 2 prizes in risk of getting knocked out. So it'll be interesting to see what his hand is capable of. And I don't see an energy in that hand, so this might be a little awkward.
we could always use that Pokestop, try and draw into the Earthen Vessel. But of course, we're going to start with getting the Pokemon out of the deck first with that Nest Ball. If I have to guess, it has to be one of those Frigibacks. Again, the backbone of this entire deck.
The Frigiback's bone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I saw that coming.
Okay.
But yes, Frigibacks in play. Very important card. Let's see what else Christian can do. Again, I'd love to see maybe spinning the Pokestop. Let's try and get the Earthen Vessel. But then again, leaving the Radiant Greninja in the active isn't the end of the world.
I mean, this hand's also very good. He has the Bidoof in hand and discards double Irida off this Pokestop. That's not what you want.
Okay.
A third superior energy retrieval going to the hand. He does have that Bidoof, has the Chien Pao, but no energy. And I think I do see another Irida. There's also Rare Candy Baxcalibur. So next turn, this hand could be very good.
So we do see the pass there on to Kamal. Let's see what they can cook up. Kamal must be thinking now, though, might be a little bit hesitant to drop the Squawkabilly like earlier, but that seems like a necessary evil in this deck. As we do see the Trekking Shoes. Yep, great way to get energy into the discard pile. Gets an Ultra Ball. Does have the Roaring Moon in hand. Has a lot of choices. Already has the Squawk in hand as well.
Yeah, Kamal could also use the Pokestop from Christian here, so opts to discard his own with this Ultra Ball, but also discarded Judge, which could have been a very good card. I mean, as long as we know Christian's hand, you know? Like, we know there's a Rare Candy Baxcalibur, but...
It's quite a big hand, especially after you see your opponent just discard 2 Iridas. It's pretty tempting to Judge, but at the same time, you're also thinking, I want to set up my board, which you could have done.
You need to attack.
Yes, attack and set up the board. I'd like maybe benching the Squawk and then the Judge. So that at least ensures you disrupted your opponent and you still see like 10 cards or whatnot. As we just see the Dark Patch there being attached, attaching an energy from the discard pile onto the Roaring Moon. Just a Squawk and Seize for
Easy.
6.
No no high five here, but
that's only for the research, Jim.
yeah. Hey, it's a lost art, you know. Haven't seen it in years.
For sure, as we do see the Battle VIP pass being played, finding 2 extra basic Pokemon again, the most powerful card in the game, but only on the first turn of the game. Has again, at least Radiant Greninja on Kamal's side of the field is here. It's not in the prizes, and looks like they're opting to keep the last bench space open.
Yeah, that could just be for the second Battle VIP pass that's in the hand, finding a Roaring Moon EX to go along with the first one, and that's going to help at least, hopefully, you know, if Kamal has an energy in hand, it's going to be pretty good. You can conceal cards and just continue the train going. Maybe you have Professor Sada's Vitality. And we're going to start things off with a Pokestop.
An energy, the jelly, an Ultra Ball. At least you do get the Ultra Ball. Again, as long as you hit one thing off a Pokestop, I'm feeling good. Except, of course, if you discard 2 Iridas. As we do see the Trekking Shoes, looks like opting to draw the first card. So no supported play just yet. Looks like it's going to be the Boss's Orders in hand. Is there a way to double Dark Patch, maybe knock out the Chien Pao? Or the Lone Frigibacks, excuse me.
There could have been if Kamal Dark Patch to the Galarian Moltres, I believe. But the fact that he didn't means I don't think we're going to see a Boss's Orders played this turn and take a knockout on that Frigibacks, which is actually very big. And while Kamal does have this Professor Sada's Vitality to get those 2 energies attached, and it's still a very good turn, we're still probably going to see this turn 1 attack from Kamal here. It is not going to be kind of like a game-ending attack, like knocking out that Frigibacks would be.
Definitely. I mean, getting rid of a Radiant Greninja that's been the bane of Kamal's existence seems good to me. And also, getting rid of the Pokestop in combination with the attack means you're not going down to 30 HP, and you're denying Christian access to the stadium.
And this is the power of going second in this matchup. Your deck is made to do just this. Get your 3 energies on a Roaring Moon EX and start attacking as soon as your first turn. Now, Kamal is debating about playing this Town Store to grab the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, which he does, but that means he's 1 less Stadium in hand to be able to get the full 220 damage from Calamity Storm.
Yes, and we did see him struggle earlier in Game 2, trying to find those stadiums, forced to frenzy gouging at the wrong moment. But we'll see here if this pays off, as we do see the Super Rod being played now, trying to get back the Radiant Greninja.
Such an awkward Super Rod, but honestly, you kind of have to do it. That Radiant Greninja is so important, as you saw in Game 2. And it's actually kind of ironic that Christian draws his first energy of the game for this turn when it's already been knocked out.
It could be a blessing in disguise, though, since, again, the Chien-Pao was safe from knockout. It would have gotten knocked out this turn by a Roaring Moon, as we do see the Rare Candy into the Baxcalibur. We see the entire Wombo combo, 3 energies now onto the Chien-Pao.
But has nothing else. There was no Irida in that hand. It's just 3 superior energy retrievals.
That's a lot of ways to get energies, Jeremy.
Yeah, from the discard, not from the deck. There's only 3 energies in the discard now for Christian, and it was the 3 he discarded this turn.
Definitely not looking good for Christian as we move on over back to Kamal. Again, the name of the game is finding that stadium card, because again, if you frenzied gouging in this position does knock out your own Roaring Moon. I believe they still have access to the Forest Seal Stone Ultra Ball being played here.
I think Kamal's in a very strong position where he can almost clean up this game with just the boss's orders and that Forest Seal Stone. You can boss's orders the Baxcalibur, Forest Seal Stone for that Pokestop. Use the Pokestop if you want to. You don't need to. And then Calamity Storm, take the knockout. You're leaving Christian with no energy in play, no Frigibax in play, no Baxcalibur. It's essentially game over.
But you still have those 3 energy retrievals.
Yeah. Sure, you could discard those 2 to grab 3 energies, attach, and then pass.
Definitely not looking good here for Christian. Again, the fact that they just didn't have access to the Irida definitely hurts here, as Kamal is going to use their V-Star power here against Star Alchemy. Half a Starbirth finds anything they want from the deck. I believe you mentioned it earlier. It's going to be a stadium.
Oh, yeah, it's that Pokestop. And I think Kamal is maybe slow rolling a little bit here. Uses the Pokestop. All right,
Yeah.
Dark Patch, we're fine with that. You can charge up that Roaring Moon EX on the bench, ready for next turn. I don't think there's going to be a next turn, most likely.
I'm trying to think of a way out as well. Maybe
it's really just
boss stall?
how fragile this Chien-Pao deck is when it doesn't have access to Baxcalibur. You're really just a theme deck at that point.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. We saw how powerful it is when all the moving parts were there. You had double Bibarel, you had your Baxcaliburs, you had your attackers, you had your Radiant Greninja. But if you don't have them, and all you have is energy retrievals, this is what it looks like. As we do see, again, Dark Patch and the energy attachment onto that Roaring Moon. Second attacker ready to go.
No. Just Calamity Storms takes the knockout on Chien-Pao EX. And while Christian's hand is terrible and he's just discarded 4 cards for 1 superior energy retrieval, takes the knockout, it's still game over, but give him a little bit of hope. Give him a little bit of hope.
You're going down fighting. It's not every day you see Baxcalibur attack. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Kamal Crooks Valdez is going to progress